welcome to Leggy's Reviews. Today on the show, I'll be reviewing X-Men First Class. I went to go see it last night. This summer has been the summer of superhero movies. We've seen Thor already. X-Men was the next one. Now we have Green Lantern coming up and Captain America. All these movies setting the universe for the next, upcoming Marvel movies and the next upcoming DC movies. So I saw Thor earlier this summer. Thor was fantastic, but I have to say so far, X-Men First Class has definitely taken the cake for me. Um, this movie is directed by Matthew Vaughn. He directed Kick-Ass, so I was expecting a lot on the action side of things. Not to mention I was expecting a lot of, sort of British actors, some lower budget idea of things. I went into this movie, not so confident that it was going to be amazing and not so confident that it was going to be horrible, because judging from, the poor Photoshop jobs that we've seen for the marketing and stuff, things have been a little shaky. You have those, like Mystique's hairline and Beast's look, and, you have hardcore fans like myself who are just a little iffy about this movie. So I went in there not expecting much, but not expecting a horrible movie either. So again, like I said, directed by Matthew Vaughn, starring Michael Fassbender as Magneto and James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. These two are the major hitters for the movie. So pretty much the movie revolves around the relationship and the fallout of Xavier and Magneto. We all know this because it leads into the first X-Men movie and into the other horrible 3 movies that followed. So yeah. On the acting side of things, I have to say Michael Fassbender did a fantastic job with Magneto's character. He really breaks it in and really makes the character his own. He doesn't really follow, the Ian McKellen sort of interpretation of Magneto. James McAvoy does a great job playing a young, inexperienced, sort of naive Professor Xavier. A Professor Xavier who still has hair and can walk. So I thought their relationship is definitely the pinnacle of the movie, and it's definitely the best part in terms of acting from everybody. The movie also stars Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw, who is the leader of the Hellfire Club, which are the main villains in the movie. And that dates back to 1940s when Eric Lenscher, who's Magneto, was a slave in the Nazi war and all that good stuff. So let's get right into the story. Pretty much the story starts off by introducing our characters at a young age. So you have Professor Xavier meets Mystique, and you see that relationship grow with them over the years. Then they show the first scene from X-Men 1 is in there when they're taking Eric Lenscher away from his parents in the Nazi concentration camp, and he bends the gates with his power. And from that point, then you have Sebastian Shaw who enters the picture, and he's trying to get Eric Lenscher to do things for him. He says, your mutant gene is something of the future for mankind. And that's when things start to go sour between Eric Lenscher and Sebastian Shaw. Then ensues, this whole revenge thing between Eric Lenscher and Sebastian Shaw throughout the movie. Later on in the film, you have Professor Xavier, who's not a professor yet. He's still a student of mutant genes, who's friends with the young Mystique. And, they're pretty much recruited by the CIA because the CIA has, seen things in Sebastian Shaw as of recently where, he's been doing a little weird things. People haven't seen the mutants yet, so they don't know what a mutant is yet, right? So they decide to go talk to Professor Xavier to see, what he knows about the mutant gene and the mutant concentration and all that stuff, funding him to find a team and help take down Sebastian Shaw, because Sebastian Shaw wants to start war between Russia and the U.S. This is at the time of the nuclear war with Kennedy and whatnot. So that's when Magneto enters the picture, and he comes along and he decides to team up with Xavier, and him and Xavier throughout the film, especially close to the end, you can see the tension between these two characters and the build up to the eventual fallout, which we all know that happens. So yeah, I have to say I enjoyed that. The story of the film is solid. It establishes the characters as what they should be from the comic books and in the original universe. There is some continuity errors between Emma Frost, between her role in this movie and X Men Origins when she's a teenager. But things like that are dismissed because you can see this as a separate franchise. Just throw Wolverine Origins out the window. Don't even consider that a movie. Um, so yeah, in terms of a movie as a whole, I thought the continuity and all that stuff really came together very, very well. They managed to create their own universe that's again true to the comics and satisfies the fanboys like myself. The best part, I think, of the movie was they got the costumes right, which was amazing. Um, you have some cameo appearances in there and whatnot. You have some little references to the first three X Men movie, the third one technically not being an X Men movie, but you know what I mean. You have Azazel in there who's really wicked. That's Nightcrawler's father. He's really cool, and I really like the actor who plays him, Jason Fleming, who's from Clash of the Titans and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. He played a great Azazel, and you just have this ensemble of great, interesting, different characters that all connect with each other. It's not just a superhero movie; it's a superhero movie that makes sense. It's something that comes together and really makes you feel for the characters. You don't feel like, oh, gee, look, it's just Mystique. No, you know that Mystique wants to be normal. She has that relationship with Beast, and and I felt another thing. There was a lot of thing towards Hank McCoy's character, Beast. Everybody said, "Oh, he looks, he doesn't look that great." But I thought, you know what, he was 10 times better than Kelsey Grammer in the third X Men. In the CGI, he looks very cat-like, which is the way Beast is supposed to look. Take a hint, X-Men 3. Uh, so I gotta say, I enjoyed the film as a whole. I would definitely recommend to go see it. For me, it's the best superhero movie of the summer so far. I'm giving this movie a perfect score because as a fanboy and as a follower of the franchise, it's done amazing, amazing work. And I'm finally happy to see a good X-Men movie that truly satisfies my thirst for a good X-Men movie. So again, 10 out of 10, highly recommend it. Go out there, spend the $11.99 to go watch this movie, and enjoy it. Thanks for joining me here on Leggy's Reviews. Join me next time when I review Green Lantern.